Welcome to Cavaletto Studios. I'm Chris. Free to Roll is a foam roll class designed for increasing general mobility in the main areas of our body, freeing us up from stiffness that could inhibit our day. Utilizing a foam roller and one tennis ball, we will begin with the head and shoulders. From there, we will progress into the glutes and the lower body, finishing up with the chest wall to get more range of motion in the shoulders and the neck. So let's get started. We're going to take the foam roller behind us and we're going to roll all the way back down, and we're going to place our head comfortably on that roller like a pillow. And I want you to maneuver your shoulder blades to the floor so your head is comfortable on that roller and the shoulder blades are down and the shoulders are in front of the roller, and knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor, and just let your arms rest next to your body. So you want to feel a nice stretch in the back of the neck and the head. Very gently roll your head just slightly to the left. So you're going into the bony part of the skull, the occipital bone, and then just draw your chin down towards your chest and then back up like you're nodding yes. Little up and down. And then draw the chin down, and keeping it down, draw the head left and right like you're saying no. And then release the tension, lift your chin, rock your head slightly to the right, and then back through the center even a little bit more so you get to the right side of the occipital bone. Draw your chin slightly down towards the chest, and then up and nod that little yes. Massaging out. So you're kind of behind that ear, that right ear, going down into the little bit of the side of the back of the neck, never the vertebrae. And then keep the chin down, and then just a gentle rock side to side saying no. Massaging out any tension there. Then you're going to relax the head, lift the chin back to neutral. Rotate your head back to neutral. Bring your arms out to the side, maybe hold on to the edge of the roller. Move the roller just a little bit higher up on your skull so none of your cervical vertebrae are touching the roller. Just the back of your head, and then drop your chin towards your chest. Get a nice neck stretch, and then lift your chin up and then back down. Lift your chin up, tilt your head slightly to the left like we did before, but it's higher up on your head now, and drop your chin down, and then lift your chin and down. And if you have a narrow roller and you can't reach your sides of the roller, just let your arms go out to the side. And one more time, up and down with that chin. Lift to neutral with your chin. Rock your chin back to center. And then roll it to the right. Drop your chin down to the right side of your chest. Lift and lower, massaging out the back of the head, stretching the neck. And then lift the head to neutral and then come back to center with the chin. Now you're going to slowly drop your knees to the left and roll onto your left hip. Bring your right hand on the floor to lift yourself up. And I'm going to have you bring the roller down underneath your left armpit and your left arm extended out above that roller, straight out. Now, if you're missing lymph nodes, then you would turn your palm up and lean further back so you stay more into the shoulder blade and not go into the armpit chest wall. So yours will be a little different if you have any issues going on in that armpit from missing lymph nodes. We don't want to cause lymphedema. If you are good to go there, turn your palm down, rotate down into that armpit. If your head gets tired, make a fist, and you can always just place it on your left shoulder and let your head support on the wrist. But otherwise, we're going to rock and roll forward so your chest goes towards the roller and you go deeper into that armpit and then back off of it and then back onto it. You can also use your right hand, placing it on the roller for support if it's too intense, or on the floor. So just continue to rock forward into that chest wall, just getting really deep into that armpit. One more time. Now rock forward towards the chest wall so you're really deep into that armpit, and using your hand on the roller, roll your body an inch forward and back, or just even a half an inch. Just getting into that armpit, keeping the palm down. Then we're going to rotate back onto that shoulder blade, onto that left shoulder blade, and bring that left arm next to the body, right up nice and tight. So the hand is down by your hip and you're leaning back onto that left shoulder blade, and then just rock yourself side to side. Maybe holding onto the roller, holding onto the back of the head, whatever feels good to you. One more rock. So we're going to get really deep into that rotator cuff. So this is where you'll want to grab your tennis ball. And then we're going to lay back down onto our back. Head is on the roller. We're staying on the left side still. So we're just working this whole left side of the shoulder. You're going to make sure that head is completely supported like a pillow. Again, shoulder blades on the floor. And then take that tennis ball. Find your armpit again. Maybe put the tennis ball in the armpit and then draw it behind that armpit into the soft, it's kind of like a soft area behind that armpit into that shoulder blade. Draw your elbow towards the floor. Now if you have a really long roller, draw it to your right so you can get your left arm to go down to the floor, or rotate at a 90-degree angle. So you're rotating that left arm, the elbow's bent, you're turning the palm towards the floor as your elbow rocks back and forth on the floor. And just be mindful, adjust if you need to, maybe move that tennis ball a little more. You'll find that rotator cuff and those the infraspinatus down there, it can be a little tender. If it's causing a lot of pain, don't put as much pressure on it. And this is, you can even drop your hips more to the left if you would like, and your knees. Or you can stay completely on your back. So you got a couple options here. Just rotating that arm. This helps with our internal rotation of our shoulder. Couple more. And then when we're done with that, we're going to remove that tennis ball. Let the shoulder go to the floor. Go ahead and bring the tennis ball behind you. We're going to slide the roller out of the way. And you're just going to rotate, stay on your left hip, but slide that left arm underneath you. Palm is up so we can stretch through that whole area that we just rolled. So I'm taking my right hand, I'm using the fist to support my forehead as I try to roll my right shoulder towards the floor. And then wiggle those left fingers. So your left arm is extended straight out to the left side, almost like you're laying on top of your left arm. So you're getting a good stretch. And then maybe rotate your palm down and up. Getting into that rotator cuff. Just really getting the shoulders nice and loose. Release. Place that right hand on the floor and then come all the way up. And now we're going to go to the other side. So from here, we're going to drop down onto our right hip, and you're going to bring your right armpit towards right on top of that roller. Extend your right arm out from so it's extending out straight to the top. And then also make sure if you are missing lymph nodes in the left side, then you would stay back into that armpit and just not into the armpit, into the shoulder blade, and move up and down. And then bring your chest forward towards the roller if you have lymph nodes and everything's good to go under there. And just a gentle side to side, all the way back, and then forward towards that chest wall. Palm is down, using your left arm for support. If it's pretty tender, just pause and take some breaths. And just notice what's going on deep in that armpit. A lot of connective tissue under there. Sometimes it's hard to get to. If you want to keep rocking, you can. I just give options, feel what feels good to your body. And you can also move up and down, just a small movement. Couple more. Oh, I can get a little tender in there. And then you're going to lean back enough to bring that right arm next to the body, so you're laying on the outside edge of that shoulder and the shoulder blade, and a gentle rock side to side. So we get a little bit into the back of that shoulder and the arm, a little bit on top of it, all's connected. And then we're going to roll backwards onto our back. We're going to let our head go back onto the roller and bring that right shoulder and shoulder blade to the floor. Both knees bent, feet flat. And we're going to bring that tennis ball underneath that rotator cuff again, or underneath that right shoulder blade. Again, head is rested on the floor. Now, if you have a long roller, maybe push it to the left so you have room for your right arm to rotate. You can keep both feet flat, hips on the floor, or even drop a little more to your right hip and the knees go down. That can make it a little intense. So again, make adjustments. And then bring your 90-degree elbow, rotating on the floor, so the back of your hand goes to the floor, and then the front of your hand. Continue rotating that arm. Whew. Might find some spots there. Can be a little tender, especially on that right side if you are working at a computer a lot and that mouse is triggering off those from the movement of the hand, goes all the way up to that fascia tissue in the upper back. Couple more times. And then we're going to release that tennis ball. Let's stretch that area. So you're going to roll onto that right hip, straighten out the right arm across, move that foam roller. So you can start to lay, rotating your left shoulder towards the floor. So you're really stretching out that left arm, trying to lay on top of it. You can use your hand, a fist, to support your head. Wiggle those right fingertips. And breathe. If it bothers to stretch it this way, you can always use that roller to hold you up a little higher. And then from here, we're going to roll back onto our backs. Bring that roller a little closer. Shift onto the hips. Feet flat. We're going to roll the whole back now. So you're going to bring your fingertips behind the ears, and then first open up the chest. So you're lengthening through the neck and looking up at the sky. Feet flat. Lift those hips off the floor, and then guide that roller gently and slowly along the back. So you go to where about the belly button would come through the back. We don't roll the low back. Just to be safe today, we're avoiding that area. You want to be mindful of any kind of slip disc, bulging disc, degenerative disc. You don't want to roll those areas. That's why we're just sticking with the upper back. If you have pain, that's your body telling you not to roll that area. One more roll up and down. And then we're going to find the middle of the shoulder blades, lower those hips, and then really lengthen and open up the chest. Feel your body curving over the back of the roller. You might even feel a stretch through the chest wall. Take a deep breath in. And exhale it out. And then start to lift your head. Bring your hands to the roller. Lift yourself all the way up. We're going to pivot around onto our hands and knees. We're going to separate the knees, feet together, find a child's pose, and then bring that roller close enough that you can bring your hands onto the roller in your child's pose. Really stretch through those armpits. You just rolled them. Melt your belly between your thighs, maybe get your head to the floor. Do a gentle shift side to side. And then slowly come up. So we're going to continue on from here, moving down into quads. It's just convenient, we're right here. So you're going to bring your elbows to the floor like you're doing an elbow plank, and the roller is going right above those knees. And you're going to move your body forward and back 1 inch. Rolling along the upper part of that thigh, above the knees. And if this is super painful, take breaks and come back to it. Walk your elbows back 1 inch and move forward and back. You want to move forward and back between 4 to 10 times. Again, I'm saying, yeah, that's an extremely different number. Depends on what you're feeling. If it's extremely painful, just do a few, take a break, and come back and do it again. The more we roll, the less it hurts. So you want to take those breaks if it's super painful. Walk the elbows back, move that roller up another inch, and forward and back. The goal here is to try to let those legs relax as much as possible. I know it's way easier said than done. Walk the elbows back again, so we're moving that roller up the thigh as high as we can comfortably. Keep on going. Now when you get to the top of that thigh, we're going to walk the elbows forward, and then I want you to slowly guide your body forward so the roller goes back to the top of the thighs. And now we're going to bend the knees and bring the feet up. Try to relax, and then slowly guide your body backwards. Just walk the elbows back 1 inch slowly. This is a very slow movement. Just checking in. Now I want you to roll back till you get to about the middle top area of those thighs. And then gently straighten your right leg. And then bend it. And then straighten the left leg. And then bend it. And then the right. And bend. And left leg straighten. And bend. And then slide further backwards so your roller goes all the way to the top of the thigh, and bring your knees onto the floor. And here we're going to take a child's pose again. So separate your knees, feet together, arms wider on the roller, and slide into it. Stretch them, stretch out those quads, stretch out the armpits, bring your head to the floor. Make any adjustments that you need to. And then slowly come up. Now we're going to do one more type of rolling on the quads. So coming back to those quads again, right above the knees, elbows on the floor. Bring those knees up this time. And again, rock the hips gently side to side, just finding that comfortable position. And then crisscross the legs with them bent, and they're right above the knees. And then walk your elbows back 1 inch. And the roller moves up the thigh 1 inch, and then crisscross your legs again. And then walk your elbows back. Knees are bent, crisscross those legs. 2 to 4 times on this one, and then move up again. Crisscross those legs again. Maybe you only do it a couple times, maybe more, and then up a little higher. Crisscross those legs again. Again, just massaging out that tissue, trying to get that internal external rotation of those legs, of the hips, up a little higher. And then just you move up the thighs to where it's comfortable to you. Once you're there to the top, we're going to straighten out the legs. And just breathe here for a moment, and then slowly slide off the back again. This time we're going to move the roller to the side and lay all the way down onto your belly. And bring your right hand under your chin and bend your left knee and hold on to that left foot. So you can really stretch through that quad. Now, if you cannot reach your foot, just lay on your, one option to lay on your right side and grab your foot. And if you still cannot grab your foot, just bring that right foot behind you onto the floor and push your hip up. So you're stretching through those quads. Goal, try to bring your knees together and really pull that foot heel towards your glute. Now we still have a lot more to do. We still have glutes, hamstrings, calves. We've done the upper body, moving towards the quads, the front. We're going to finish up with the back of the body. Go ahead and release that left leg, and then let's try the right. Holding on to that right foot. Just a nice simple way to get to massage out the different fascia tissue of our body. One more breath. Don't forget, if you can't reach that leg, you can always lay on the side or bring your right leg behind you on the floor and stretch out through that hip. Because maybe one leg you can reach and one you can't. Now you're going to release that leg. Go ahead and bring the roller back in front of you. So while we're here, we're going to bring our hands and wrist, about around the wrist area, onto the roller. Thumbs are up. Bring your head to look at the floor. Then straighten your arms and start to lift your upper body. So you start to stretch through the spine, through the belly. Maybe lift your body a little higher off the floor. And then lower back down all the way, straightening the arms. Bend your left knee and then lift again. Feel the belly pulling into the spine, and you might notice a difference. It might be stretching more on the right side as that left knee bends. It's forced couple relationships is what it's called, when the different muscle groups of the body work together or stretch and support each other. Then go ahead and lower the upper body, straighten the right leg, straighten the left leg, bend the right leg, and then lift again. And just notice the difference. You might be so tight in those hip flexors, you feel it all the way up into the belly. And then lower back down, straighten the leg. Last one, we're going to bend both knees. And then gently lift. You won't be able to lift as far, more likely. And you don't want to feel any back pain, but just feel that nice stretch. And then lower everything back down to the body. We're going to release those arms, bring the hands next to the body, and slide it all the way up. Take one last child's pose, because we want to stretch out that low back after doing that back extension. Bring the belly between the thighs and lower down. And just breathe here. And then when you're ready, we're going to come all the way back up, and we're going to move on to quads. We just did quads, to glutes. So you're going to sit up on your roller. I'm going to start with the left side, because I like to save the right for last, because a lot of times the right side tends to be tighter for majority. Sometimes the left is. So I want you to bring your left arm behind you. Left butt cheek is on the floor. We're leaning our weight to the left, both feet flat, knees bent, and then guide that roller to the top of your glute, and then all the way to the bottom by those sits bones, and then all the way to the top, massaging out that whole glute, upper, lower, middle, everything. This is where you might find speed bumps or trigger points deep in that glute. One more roll. Now we're going to go a little deeper into that tissue. Find the middle of that glute. Take your left ankle, cross it over your right, open up that left knee, and roll again. All the way. Now if you find a trigger point or sensitive area here, pause in the middle and then just move that knee up and down. And just, it helps get that trigger point to dissolve or to relax a little more. And then you move past it and come back over. Just massaging it out. Continue moving slowly. Changing the angle, maybe if you pull your knee in a little more, moving up and down that glute, or even try opening it up. Both ways are going to change what you're feeling. Then we're going to slowly release, and we're going to sit forward on the mat. Now, if you've noticed, after each area we do stretch, so it's very important to stretch out the area that you just foam rolled. So right leg is straight, left leg is bent and crossed over, so we can really stretch that left glute. Now you have an option to just stay here like this, or you can even lean to your right and pull your right leg in so the right foot goes to the left glute. Get a little deeper stretch and breathe. If the leg doesn't go there or you can't keep your leg across, then you would just keep it straight. So options there. Both sits bones on the floor. Just really sit tall, hug that left knee in with the right arm. Left arm back behind you for a support. So you want to hold your stretches a minimum of 10 seconds, 20 to 30 is even better. Lots of science out now about foam rolling and then stretching just to help your mobility, flexibility. We're softening that tissue. Go ahead and release. And now we're going to the other glute. So you're going to go to the right side. So you're going to sit back up on that roller. Right arm behind you, feet flat. And we're going to roll to the top and the bottom of that glute. Notice the difference on this side. And remember that day to day, this can change depending on your activity level, what you have or haven't done recently, your hydration is a huge component. Go ahead and cross that right ankle over the left thigh now, and let's go a little deeper. So I mentioned hydration. So if you feel like you haven't had enough water recently or you're a little dehydrated, that can cause the tissue to be a little more sensitive to the foam rolling. All the way up and down. Open up that knee as you roll, or maybe pull the knee in closer when you roll. Try both ways. And if you find a spot, a trigger spot, just open and close and move that knee, kind of like you're flapping a wing. And a little more. Last one. Now we're going to uncross that leg. We're going to sit down on the floor. Now let's give it a nice stretch in that right glute. So sit up tall, straighten the left leg. Cross your right leg over. You're going to hold it. Now option here is to lean over and bring your left leg in. And sit up tall and relax those shoulders as you lengthen. So you really want to feel that stretch through that right glute. You can always have that left leg straight. You have options here. So we're going to hold and pause here and breathe. And then go ahead and slowly release. Unwind. Let's straighten out both legs. Now we're going to practice a quick stretch before we roll those hamstrings, just to check our range of motion. Inhale, both arms up, and then exhale, fold. And then shake out those legs. And just notice where it's tight so we can go on to those hamstrings. So here you're just going to, again, lift yourself up onto the roller. Now, if you have trouble reaching the floor behind you, you can use a couple yoga blocks to hold yourself up. And you can always move your roller towards the edge to keep one leg more off the edge. It's up to you where you go. Lots of ways you can do this. So I'm going to start with my left again. You're going to cross the right leg over the left and lean into that left hamstring. And I'm just going to gently move forward and back. So my left heel's on the floor and I'm just using it for a guide. You can also lift it off the floor and just roll that whole hamstring. So that's one option. Another option is to rock side to side. Now, if you find a trigger point, you want to pause and just hold right there on that trigger point and see if you can get it to move or dissolve. And then forward and back again. Maybe lower down and then back side to side, getting into that hamstring. So this can be a little challenging for upper body strength, or it can be a good little warm up for upper body strength, depending on where you are. So just moving up and down that left hamstring. Once you are done with that left hamstring, we're just going to switch it to the right one. So cross your left leg over the right, right heel's on the floor, and just a gentle press forward and back. And then a rock side to side. A little bit lower on that leg, forward and back. And also your side to side. Again, if you find a trigger point, just pause right on it, hold that pressure on it so it will start to relax a little. Forward and back. Can you tell a difference between the right and left hamstring? One might be tighter than the other. So we can roll out those hamstrings, but there are a lot of little connective muscle and tissue areas up in the hip that can prevent them from lengthening or stretching too much. We won't have time to get into them today, but that's a whole nother video getting into that. So then once you're done with the hamstrings, both sides, uncross your legs and then go ahead and have a seat on the floor. Slide your roller out of the way. So we started with the left leg. So what we're going to do is straighten the left leg and place the right ankle under the left knee, and then sit up nice and tall. Flex your left foot. Let's take a breath in, reach the arms up, and then exhale, forward fold. And then just hang out here. Put your hands on the floor next to you, wiggle your legs side to side. Just feel that stretch. Maybe rock yourself side to side. Notice what's going on in the hips. So when we move into the hamstrings, we're also trying to loosen up through the hips and the back. So you don't want to collapse too much into it. You want to try to stay a little bit taller through the spine, but relax those shoulders. And then again, just a gentle rock side to side. Maybe hold your spine and your hips from moving, keep them solid, and just rock your legs side to side. We're also going to get into the calf next. Then go ahead and release that leg and let's stretch the right hamstring. So slight bend in that right knee. Bring your left ankle under the right knee. Lift up tall, reach the arms up, and then let's fold into it. And now while you're folding into it again, think about those shoulders relaxing, not collapsing into it, but lengthening through the spine and hinging at the hips. And then start to rock your body side to side. And just notice what's going on. And then wave that foot, hold the body, upper body solid, and just move that leg side to side. Never forcing the stretch. We don't want to force into it or bounce into it. It's a very gentle movement. And then we release. Now we're going to move on down, getting into our calf. So the lower part of the leg. So we're going to bring both ankles onto that roller. And we're going to start on the right side this time just because we can. And I'm going to change it up. We start on the left glute, left hamstring, right calf. So then you're going to just start to bend and straighten that right knee. The left ankle is crossed over that right ankle as you rotate the leg left, center, and right at the same time as bending and straightening it. So you're massaging out all areas right above that ankle. Really getting into even the side part here on the side, above the ankle, and the back, and then the inside area. Now how much pressure you put on is up to you. If it's too intense, then you do not have to cross your legs. You can even do them for time's sake. If you're crunched for time, you can do them both at the same time by not having them crossed. But this is a full class today, so we want to make sure we get each area nice and deep. And then if you find a trigger point, rotate those ankles. The right ankle both directions, and then bring the roller a little higher. And we're going to repeat. We're going to bend and straighten as we rotate to the left side of our hip and the right side as the leg rotates left and right and left as we bend and straighten, massaging it out. So again, try rotating that right ankle if you find a trigger spot or a tender spot, and then move up a little higher so that roller continues to roll up the thigh as you bend and straighten, rotating to the left and to the right, rotating the ankle in a circle, just checking in. You might find some more trigger spots as you get higher up into that calf, and then move it higher. We're getting into the gastrocnemius, the meaty part of the calf. So the goal is to try to relax your ankle as you bend and straighten. So that can be challenging to do if it gets really tender at the top or into that tissue. So again, if you find a spot, then you pause on it and rotate the ankle. And then a little higher. So now we're getting up there close to the back of the knee, but we don't go behind the back of the knee. And again, still bending and straightening as we roll gently from side to side. And rotating the ankle. Now once you've gotten to the top and you can't really go anymore, and if you do, you'd go behind the knee, that's where you quit working that calf and we go to the other side. So then we go to the left calf, cross the right ankle over. If your wrists are starting to get tired, feel free to massage them out. And you can always drop to your elbows, and you can also use yoga blocks behind you. So you're going to bend and straighten, and you can also do this laying on your back. So bend and straighten, and notice the difference. One calf might have more trigger points than the other. Rotate the ankle if you find a spot. And then if you have any kind of plantar fasciitis or you've had it in the past, then you probably might find some trigger points in that calf, especially on the leg that you had the plantar fasciitis on. So move that roller a little higher onto the calf, a little bit higher, bend and straighten. Now we're rotating to the right and to the left, through the hip, through the whole leg, circling the ankle, and then move a little higher. And then a little to the right and the left, circle, circle. One more circle all the way around. So this is really going to help your mobility as we soften up those tissues throughout the body. And this is important to take time in a whole class to give yourself some self-care, massaging out any of that stuck tissue. And it also helps your immune system, everything. It's like a deep tissue massage that we're giving ourselves, and we are getting rid of toxins. So make sure you drink a lot of water after class and throughout the rest of your day. You should be doing that every day anyways, but just a reminder. All right, we're getting a little higher up into that meaty part of the calf. Keep moving that roller up. Rotate the ankle on any tender spots. Almost there. Good. Once you get up there and you can't go any further, we're going to release the roller. Massage out the wrists if they're tight. Now we need to stretch the calves. Very important to stretch out those calf muscles. So we're going to come to tabletop or all fours. Now you can have your hands on the floor. You can also rest your forearms on the roller if your wrists are tired. And we're going to press both feet into the floor and lift ourselves towards a downward facing dog or an upside down V. And then just start to pedal out your feet, walk your dog, shift through your hips, bending and straightening the knees, that you really can melt into those calf muscles. Now we did start with the right calf, so I want you to push your right heel towards the floor. Take your left foot or ankle and place it on your right ankle. And then press your hips to the sky. And really stretch through that right calf, and then start to shift your hips gently left and right. So you're stretching out all the way down through the Achilles tendon and up through the back of the knee. And then bend into the knee a little further, so you bend your right knee and continue to rock. And this gets a little more into that soleus, which goes down and connects through the ankle, and it's underneath that calf. Good, straighten that right knee again, and then uncross the left. Place the left foot on the floor. Lift your right foot off the floor and rotate your ankle. Both directions. Get some blood flow there. And then place that right foot over the left ankle. Press that left heel into the floor and shift your body side to side. So we rolled and stretched the hamstrings and now the calves, and it's all connected. And we did the glutes, so you're getting maybe a little more range of motion. Soften or bend that left knee a little more, and then again rock those hips side to side, getting more into the soleus, deeper into that ankle. So we got behind the knee and the hamstrings, up into the glutes and the quads, the big major muscle groups of the body. Go and unwrap that foot, lower down to the knees, and then sit back on those heels. So the only place that we haven't really touched on too much is the chest wall. So that one's a little different, so we're going to use the tennis ball. You can do it with the roller, but this is a little easier. So you can stay on your hips, on your heels, or you can sit in a nice tall seated position, or even on your roller. So we're going to take that tennis ball in our right hand. I want you to place it on your left shoulder, right where the shoulder and the chest meet, and then just start to draw little circles. So we're just going to do a quick little massage out of the chest wall, and you might find some trigger points here because we got into that armpit, we got into the shoulder blade. So let's get a little bit into the front so we can get more range of motion in our shoulder and up into our neck. Then from here, after you're drawing some circles, take that same right arm out to the side and then add a little pressure to that tennis ball and circle that right arm. Maybe you find some different spots, getting that range of motion up, getting a little closer into the shoulder, moving that tennis ball right at the edge of where the shoulder and the arm, I should say, the arm connects to the chest. Right in there, and circle it around. Then we're going to take that right hand behind the back, palm side up. Bring that tennis ball right on top of the neck. I'm going to turn here so you can see if you're watching. And then the meaty part right on top of the shoulder at the base of the neck, almost like you're going into the neck, but it's still the soft spot. Just a little circle right there. Super important. It's a big connective area there for the muscles running down from the back of the head. Then draw that tennis ball directly forward, coming towards your clavicle bone. So you should find the bone right on the right side of that chest and bring that tennis ball right below it. So it's almost to the middle of the right side of your chest. It's pretty bony there, so don't push too hard. Just a gentle little circle. Now while you're circling, notice what you feel. That right hand is still behind the back. The palm side is up. Now I want you to push just a little pressure down on that spot and push the tennis ball and the tissue of the chest down, away from the clavicle. Now lift your chin up to the left. And feel that little bit of a pull. Sometimes we get a tight neck. Try bringing your teeth together, do a little chewing motion. You can feel that stretching out through the neck. And then slowly release your head back to neutral. Release the tennis ball, release your arm. We're going to go to the other side. So take that tennis ball on the left side of your chest. Start to draw little circles as you press into that chest wall. And you're real close to where the arm again meets the chest. So little circles do with a gentle press, not really hard. And then we're going to take that left arm out to the side and maybe draw some circles with the arm as well. And this is where you might find more where those trigger points are. And then we're going to bring that tennis ball, good, right there close to where the arm and the chest wall meet. A little up and down there, little circles. Then turn your thumb to the floor, palm to the back, and then slide that hand behind your chest, behind your back, opening the chest. Then take the tennis ball all the way to the top. So now we are on the left side, that soft spot on the back side of the shoulder, little circles right there. Pretty close to where the neck connects to the shoulder and the upper back. It's like one big conjunction right in there. Feel that little soft spot. Maybe there's a little bone there where the connectors all come in to play. Then from there, you're going to slowly bring the ball directly forward. So you're right next to your neck, and you're going to find that clavicle bone. Go below it. So you're into the ribs there. And just a gentle little circle. Not a lot of pressure. A lot of connections are coming down from the head. So then add a little pressure and press downward motion on the tissue just a little bit. Bring your chin up to the right side of your, lift up to the right with your chin, and then bring your teeth together like you're chewing. And just feel that stretch through the neck and the chest wall. And then bring your chin to neutral. I know it looks funny, it feels funny, but it's helping. Go ahead and release that tennis ball, release the arm. Go ahead and place your tennis ball to the side. Makes my eyes water sometimes if it's really tight. We're gonna big shoulder rolls up, back, and down. Let's check with the head, move the head a little bit, roll it side to side across the chest, ear to shoulder, chin to chest. Let's do one more stretch just to get this area really released that we just rolled. So bend your knees, bring your feet flat on the floor, sit up nice and tall, slide your hands underneath your knees, and you can either make a fist or you can interlace those fingers. Turn sideways here. So either one. If you can't reach your fingertips, just make two fists. Walk the feet out as far as they can go, comfortably flat. Now lift up nice and tall. So you feel your legs pulling down on your arms and lengthen through the neck and the spine. So it's really stretching out this whole area that we just got with the tennis ball. And then tilt your right ear to the right shoulder and then lift your chin up. And then chin back to neutral. Left ear to left shoulder. Bring your chin up slightly. And then back to center, chin to neutral. One last stretch for the chest to really open things up. I'm going to use that foam roller. Lower back down so your shoulder blades, the very top of them are on the roller. Fingertips behind the head, and place the back of your arms on that roller. So you're way high up on the roller. Keep your elbows as close to the roller as you comfortably can so you're really opening up the chest. And lengthen through the neck, feet flat, hips are on the floor. Walk your feet together and your knees together. Drop both knees to your right. And just stay here for a moment. Feel that stretch probably through that left side of the shoulder, the armpit, and the chest wall. Another breath. And then slowly lift the knees to neutral. It's all connected. Chest wall all the way down to our hips. And then center your hips or slide them slightly to the right as you drop your knees to the left. And just notice the difference. Anyone tell that one side of your chest wall might be tighter than the other? Just really open it up. And then back to neutral with both knees. The foam roller will eat your hair. It just did mine. And then roll yourself slowly up, pull the knees into the chest, wrap the hands around the thighs, draw your chin to your chest and stretch it out. And then push downwards with your arms as you lengthen through the spine, keeping your chin really tucked in. Take a breath in, exhale it out, sit nice and tall. Good. Release the arms, go ahead and sit in a nice, tall, easy seat, crossing those legs. Check in with your spine, your ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. Hopefully you're a lot taller and straighter in that spine. You have a lot more mobility in all the different joints of the body. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, palms to heart space. Thank you so much for joining me for this full foam roll class. Namaste.